What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Danny Mathematics again. Today, I want to go over how to solve multi-step equations where we're solving to find out the value of x, and this is example 11. And remember, the first 10 examples are already uploaded to my YouTube channel, so please check those out, okay? So let's go ahead and start. We have 8x minus 3 times parentheses 2x minus 4, parentheses close, equals 3 times parentheses x minus 6. The first thing that we got to do, guys, is we have to distribute everything that's within the parentheses with the number that's attached to the parentheses on the outside, okay? So let's go ahead and start that process right now. 8x, we can just bring that down. So we just can bring down 8x, okay? Now, I have a -3, right? We're gonna multiply -3 by everything within this parentheses, okay? So -3 times 2x is a -6x, okay? -3 times a -4 is a +12, okay? Equals, same thing on this side. I have a +3 that's attached to the parentheses, and within the parentheses, I have an x minus 6. So I'm gonna multiply +3 by everything within the parentheses so I can distribute all the way out, okay? So now I have a -3. I'm sorry, not a -3, I apologize, a +3, a +3. +3 times x is a +3x, and a +3 times a -6 is a -18, a -18. So far, guys, after you distribute, this what you should have, okay? So let me go ahead and make my variables be red like I've had them so we can easily see and distinguish everything, okay? Now, the next thing we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is on both sides, we need to combine like terms. We need to combine like terms. All right, 8x and -6x are like terms, so let's combine them. 8x minus 6x is 2x. So I have 2x plus 12. We're gonna bring that 12 down, okay? So these go away, we're good. Those both turn into 2x when I combine them, okay? Equals everything on this side, there's no like term, so everything else just comes down the way they're supposed to come down, okay? So I still have a 3x minus 18, okay? So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and we're going to identify what terms are in an operational relationship and what terms are single, okay? All right, when it comes to 2 times x, 2 is the coefficient and x is the variable, and the operation or the relationship between them is multiplication because it's actually saying 2 times x. So I'm just gonna put a little heart underneath because I know that's a relationship, and those values are gonna go on the relationship side whenever we label each side, okay? 12, as you see, 12 is not attached to a variable, right? It's single, right? So we're gonna put an S underneath it for single, okay? 3x, 3 is the coefficient, x is the variable. The relationship operation between them is 3 times x. So that's a relationship. I'm just gonna put a heart underneath. And -18 or -18, that is a single value. It's not attached to any variable, okay? So now, the next thing we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to draw a fence going through the equal sign. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a side to where we're gonna label one side as the relationship side, one side as the single side. So we might as well label the left side as the relationship side because there is a relationship on the left side. So let's just go ahead and we'll label that as the relationship side. And the other side, we're gonna label that as the single side. Meaning that all terms that are in a relationship, we're gonna move them to their appropriate side, and all terms that are single, we're gonna move them to the single side, okay? So 2 times x is in a relationship, it's on its correct side. but 12 is single. It needs to move to the single side, right? So the opposite or the inverse of plus 12 is minus 12. So I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides from a like term, okay? So I'm going to subtract 12 from negative 18, okay? And of course, guys, whenever you have two negative numbers, when you add them, just add them together like positives, but keep the negative sign, right? 18 plus 12 is 30, but in this case, it'll be a negative 30. All right, so let's just bring everything else that we still have down. Once again, I still have a 2x equals, on this side, 3x minus 30. Okay. Now, I look on the single side, right? Negative 30 is a single value or a single constant, so it's on its appropriate side. But 3 times x is in the relationship, so it needs to move to the relationship side. So the inverse or the opposite of 3x is a negative 3x or a minus 3x, right? So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides, okay? So 2x minus 3x equals a negative x, a negative 1x, okay? Equals a negative 30. Okay, so now it's time to break up the coefficient and the variable, okay? Remember, in these particular cases, the relationship has been multiplication, okay? That's the operation of the relationship so far has been multiplication, which means that the breakups at the end is gonna be the opposite of multiplication, which is division, okay? All right. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see a negative sign in front of an x, right, and it's just x, it's actually a negative 1, right, times x, okay? So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1 because we want positive x to be by itself, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, negative 1. Negative 1x divided by negative 1 is just a positive x, okay? And a negative 30 divided by a negative 1 is a positive 30. So that is our final answer and the value of x, which is positive 30. And once again, if you plug in 30 as x in this equation, wherever x is at, then you will see that the left side will equal to the right side of the equation. All right, once again, this is example 11, and I will see you next time. Thank you.